Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Paul Malignaggi makes easy prediction for Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis. Who would win the fight between two of boxing's best operators? A fight between Shakur and Gervonta Davis is one of the biggest that can be made in boxing right now, with both fighters highly thought of. The unbeaten pair have claimed the throne of the weight classes impressively, and both feature in most people's pound-for-pound lists, despite both men possessing incredible credentials. Paul Malignaggi, a former two-way world champion, is the opinion that both would be strength forward. Malignaggi has given his backing to Stevenson and thinks the New York man will get the job done. He is the best pure boxer in the sport. Nobody can touch him, nobody can beat him. Early level guys, says Paul Malignaggi. Shakur Stevenson will beat Gervonta and make it look pretty easy. Davis' power is always a wild card, but Shakur is way too good. Artyom Kharatunian could have won Frank Martin fight. Shakur Stevenson focused on dangerous opponent amid free agent status. Shakur Stevenson is not getting the fight he wanted against Gervonta Davis, at least not anytime soon. In the meantime, the New York native seems keyed in on his upcoming WBC lightweight title defense against Artyom Kharatunian at Prudential Center, New York on 7th July, which will also be his last fight with a promoter top rank. Kharatunian is coming off a hard-fought 12-rounder against Frank Martin in July last year, which saw fighter lightweight take a knee in the championship round of the fight. However, Stevenson suggests that Kharatunian isn't someone to be taken lightly while speaking to social media. Shakur Stevenson blames the fatigue for Kharatunian's loss. While speaking to the fast-rising lightweight, broached the subject of Stevenson's impending free agency following his upcoming fight, noting that various promoters are eager to sign him and inquiring whether these interests generated any additional pressure for him. In response, Stevenson explained it, "I'm taking everything on one step at a time. I'm in pressure either busts pipes or makes diamonds." He even highlighted that promoters wouldn't be talking him up if he wouldn't perform, so my focus is July 6th. Later in the interview, Kharatunian's close loss to Martin last year, questioning whether that makes him more dangerous, which Stevenson answered by saying, "Yeah, I think he is very much more dangerous." Shakur Stevenson claimed that even the Martin fight was extremely close and could have gone either way. In fact, Stevenson says if it were not for Kharatunian taking the knee because of fatigue in the final round, I think Kharatunian could have won the fight, so even though Shakur Stevenson is the clear favorite going into the fight, with more fights and zero losses, the New York native feels he is a good fighter, definitely dangerous. Meanwhile, Stevenson has revealed that he is tough on missing out on two big fights, which could have propelled his career to greater heights. "We've got to be honest," Shakur Stevenson brands Gervonta Davis a casual and says he lacks boxing knowledge. Shakur has surprised a fair few boxing fans by calling Gervonta a casual in a new interview. The American lightweight rivals are currently both world champions in the 135 pounds division. Gervonta was effectively upgraded to become the fully recognized WBA world champion when Devin Haney moved up to super lightweight last year. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson claimed his WBC belt last time out in his win over Edwin de los Santos. However, this contest was so dull that the talented three-way champion has received a great deal of criticism ever since. Many fans have claimed that Stevenson underperformed in the fight by running from his opponent while outboxing him and did not push the action to give an entertaining performance. When asked about a potential unification between them after his win earlier this month, Davis responded by telling reporters they know how it will go. He also suggested that Stevenson would imply a similar defensive, unentertaining strategy to his last fight. When asked about this, Stevenson replied, "Gervonta is a casual, we have got to be honest. You can be a special boxer but not really have the boxing knowledge. When they fought each other, he picked really to win because of power. That's a bad opinion. Gervonta is a good fighter, but he is not so good. He is gonna say what casuals say." Boxing fans were surprised by this insult, as it is one usually used only between fans on social media. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya took to social media to call for Gervonta Davis vs Shakur Stevenson fight next. Some fans believe this is a signal that De La Hoya is planning on signing that talented WBC lightweight champion Shakur to his Golden Boy promotion stable. Assuming Shakur signs with De La Hoya next, it's a tall order for a fight to be made with a PBC managed Tank Davis. "I want to see Shakur vs Gervonta next," said De La Hoya, talking about a fight he wants to have next after Gervonta Davis fights in June and the Shakur Stevenson battles wherever in July. A challenge of making a real fight, the Baltimore native Gervonta Davis has been pretty well protected throughout his 11-year professional career, matched against mostly mid-level top 10 contenders and kept away from the elite guys. Davis will be turned 13 in November, and it does not seem realistic that he or his management will suddenly change their matchmaking to face a talented phenom like Shakur. Shakur's free agency time for an upgrade. Stevenson, a former 3-division world champion and 2016 Olympic silver medalist, will be a free agent after his July 6th title defense in Newark, New Jersey. Shakur's contract with Top Rank expires with his fight in July, and it's believed he will be moving on, looking to expand his horizons with another promoter. Golden Boy Promotions would be ideal for Stevenson, placing him on the zone and opening up the possibilities to face De La Hoya's and Eddie Hearn's matchroom boxing stable fighters. Potential matchups if Shakur signs: Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Sabriel Matias, Liam Perro, Richardson Hitchens, Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barboza Jr., Jaron Boots Ennis, Regis Prograis, Dalton Smith. If Shakur Stevenson wants to expand his options, he would vacate his WBC 135-pound title and move up to 140. Staying at lightweight is a serious move, and because once he leaves Top Rank, it's unlikely he will have the opportunity to fight guys like Emmanuel Navarrete and Abdullah Mazon. Even with Top Rank now, he is not getting those fights. It won't get better once Shakur leaves. Gervonta dismisses Shakur Stevenson as a top fighter. One fight that fans crave is the one between Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson, but their rivalry could not be settled in the ring. However, it was channeled on social media in fresh set of back and forth between them that is soon turning ugly. It all started when Shakur Stevenson counted himself and Gervonta as the top two fighters in the 135 pounds weight division. He nudged his counterpart as to why the two of them could not fight this year, aligning with fans who've been seeking the matchup for a while now. Well, he outlined that he was able to think that Shakur was looking for an opponent that later gave him a sharp reality check. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.